So today we're going to discuss the introduction and the model of the Leadership Development Program here at UTSC. On the agenda will be the history of leadership development on our campus, the new model, what is social change, the 7 C's that are involved with the social change model, your next steps, and how to get started. For the history of LDP on our campus, it was known for flashy and special guest speakers. So we've had the likes of Maestro Fresh Wes Williams, Tariq Fatah, a famous and controversial Muslim author. We've also had the likes of Peter Mansbridge, CBC news reporter, Pinball Clemens, the coach and player of Toronto's CFL Argonauts team, Wei-Sin Choi, Romeo Dallaire. Really amazing speakers that have come to talk about their stories and about leadership in their lives and in the work that they do. But we also had in the system in the past a credit system where the workshops had a little bit of a number attached to it. So if you went to something that was 3 hours, you got 3 credits, 2 hours, 2 credits, and so on. So in our feedback from students, we realized they love the idea of having special guest speakers. The credit system was a little bit hard to track, but something was definitely missing from the program. Time and time again, students shared that they really wanted hands-on experience and a way to apply all the leadership learning that they were going through in workshops and through all the special events. They really wanted to apply it to actual situations on or off campus. So in our search for a new model, we came across many that are used across Canada, within Ontario, and especially in the States. And the most popular one that comes to mind, and it's being used across different institutions, is a social change model. The first thing to think about is there a difference between the concept and ideas of charity and change? And charity is a positive thing, not to diminish the ability to give a quick donation when you can, but oftentimes change is more long-lasting and has more positive impact, not only on the people that you help, but also on yourself. So oftentimes, positive change can come in the form of volunteering, giving some of your own time, helping out at a soup kitchen or a food bank, mentoring and coaching students after school, becoming a tutor. So the impact of that interaction with the people that you're helping not only has an effect on that person, but also on yourself. In some way, you grow and develop through that process. So the social change model is all about that same reaction, creating that change not only in society, but also within yourself. Thinking about some of the social issues that we face as a community and as a city of Toronto, but also as a Scarborough community, UTSC, things that are around us and our role that we could play and take and becoming part of the positive change and making a positive difference. The social change model believes in the essential values. The first one is that we're all socially responsible. So we don't have to wait for people like Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie to come and save us. It's all up to us. We're all in this together and we can all play a role. Secondly, we're collaborative, so there's none of this superhero effect where we have to wait for, again, maybe a superhero like Superman or Spider-Man. Together we can make a difference, and it's a collaborative journey. Also, leadership is more than just a title. Yes, oftentimes we get fancy titles by becoming a president, vice president, or chair, but we find that the actual process, being involved and being involved in a group, actually brings about the development of leadership skills and becoming a leader. And finally, that the process is values-based. And the social change model breaks down at least 7 essential values that you go through as a leader. This is a model of the groupings of the values that you go through within the social change model. They're broken down by individual values, group values, and then finally society and community values. They're also known as the 7 C's of change. The first set of values are individual values. So it's all about discovering who you are, what you believe in, what you stand for. Because ideally, as a leader, you want to be confident in yourself, have your own foundation, before you can lead and have others follow you. So the first value is consciousness of self, figuring out who you are, what you believe in, what your values are. How do you learn? What are your strengths? What are you good at? Finally, it's congruence. So once you figure that out, it's all about walking the talk and talking the walk. Being confident in what you believe in and not swaying depending on who's in the room or who's around you, having the confidence to live yourself out loud. And finally, a commitment. So figuring out what you're passionate for. What are certain causes that you want to get involved in here at Scarborough or here at, in the Scarborough area or Toronto area or on campus? What are you willing to commit to by giving your time and energy to? This stream is the iLead certificate in the Leadership Development Program. So many of our workshops involve fun quizzes, discovering your leadership style, workshops on time management, so you can figure out and remember how to balance everything at the end of the day. And a lot of our workshops are offered not only from the Department of Student Life, but from academic advising and career counseling, health and wellness, and other areas on campus. Our next set of values are group values. So once you discover yourself, you kind of learn the ability to play well and work well with others. Collaboration is very important. It's all about sharing the responsibility and working together with the same shared vision and goal. Therefore, collaboration leads to common purpose. I often describe this stage as, if you're interested in starting a new club on campus, one of the first things you have to do is create a constitution. Now, this step could be very, very boring. It's very dry in terms of all the information that you're pointing out in terms of how you're going to do your voting, what your positions are, how you'll run elections, your banking. All those tiny details are important in the Constitution. But the reason for it is because since we're all so different, we often need a document, a binding document to kind of help us work to that shared vision and work to that shared goal. So as a club, your Constitution kind of keeps everyone on track and working towards the same thing. And finally, controversy with civility. We're all different, and that's what makes us unique, and it's an important factor to consider. Oftentimes, that leads to conflict. We can all think back to group situations where we had that one group member that we had to pick up their slack, or that one group member that didn't really share their workload properly. So a skill like conflict mediation and learning how to handle conflict and drama that maybe occurs with working with others is very important, not only for you as a student, but also when you work in your careers, in the workforce, learning how to confront people, work with people, and continue with the collaboration process. These workshops can be found in the ULEAD stream and the ULEAD certificate program. Not only do you receive workshops from the Department of Student Life, oftentimes we collaborate with the Scarborough Campus Student Union on some of our workshops because they also provide support for clubs and organizations. So if you're a student that's part of a Departmental Student Association, a DSA, a club on campus, or even part of an organization off campus, the workshops in this stream could help you thrive as a student leader within a group. Our next stream, or next set of values, regard citizenship. So it's important to kind of figure out your place here at UTSC, your place here in Scarborough. So exercising your right to vote in elections here, exercising your right to vote in elections across Toronto and Ontario and the Canadian elections as well. So making sure your voice is heard. Advocacy is involved, speaking up for people that are not usually being heard and being silent. Being aware of issues, being critical in your thinking. It could be as simple as picking up a newspaper to figure out what's going on in the area. It's important to be involved and to take part and have a say. So these types of workshops and themes can be found in our We Lead certificate program. And we collaborate oftentimes with other groups on campus and off campus. Workshops like anti-oppression, equity training, LGBTQ awareness, and so on. So that's a heavy theme in terms of getting involved in the community and getting involved in the Scarborough area. All these values hopefully lead to a positive change, not only for yourself, but also for the greater community, the greater good. And that's the hopes of the social change model. Here's another version of the breakdown in terms of seeing how the personal development focuses on the individual, the group, which is good for people involved in clubs, DSAs, even work study positions, and finally, focusing on the Scarborough community in the world. So these are 3 possible certificates a student like you could achieve in the Leadership Development Program. You have the option to choose to achieve one certificate at a time, or if you're really gung-ho and very, very enthusiastic, you could try to achieve all three. The requirements are as follows. First, you have to complete the workshops that are required for each stream. For example, in the iLead stream, it's actually broken down as follows. So we recommend a couple workshops for the first semester to get you started, workshops in the second semester, and then as a student returning in your second year or whenever you're done the program, you could go for our year 3 options and breakdown in terms of getting more involved and actually giving back to the program by actually facilitating a workshop and leading a workshop with me or on your own to give back to the students that are continuing in the program. The second element of the leadership development program is experience, because like I said before, students really want to find ways to actually apply what they're learning inside the workshops to actual situations. So we encourage students to declare their experience, and this could be an experience on or off campus in a paid or unpaid position. We like to encourage students to actually volunteer with the Department of Student Life and the International Student Center. We're always looking for volunteers to help us with events. We have so many every week, and we're always looking for a helping hand. The SCSU also has an amazing volunteer network program, the VMP, where students can sign up and they receive weekly emails on volunteer opportunities that are happening not only on campus but in the Scarborough and Toronto community. And you could sign up for these activities as they fit in your schedule, so it could be a weekly commitment or a monthly commitment ranging from. If you're currently involved in anything off campus, this could count towards your experience as well. So don't forget, if you still give back to your old high school, elementary school, church, mosque, or library, this can all count towards your leadership development and your leadership experience. You have the ability to declare your experience now on the intranet. So when you set up your Student Life portal and profile, the option for you to declare your experience at any time as you participate through the program is there. The final piece to receive your leadership certificate is reflection. This part may seem a little bit cheesy, but it's important to look back and kind of reflect on what you've learned, what you've experienced, and what you're going to do with it. So the experiential learning cycle of reflection takes you from the what did you actually learn, so what was so important about it, and the now what are you going to do with it. It's also a great opportunity to provide feedback on the program. It's constantly changing. We want to make it better. We want to improve it for students like you and future students. So we always ask for feedback on ways that we could improve the program and make it better and expand. So we'll be asking you for ideas on the workshops that you liked or enjoyed, and maybe other workshops that we could create in the future. The reflection piece is activated once you complete the requirements of the workshops and declare your experience. This could also be found on the intranet. So the next steps, if you're interested in continuing your leadership development experience on campus, is to make sure you create and activate your Student Life profile on the intranet. The minute you log on, the Student Life option icon is within the green tab and menu. Click it, begin to create your profile, and you're automatically enrolled in the leadership development program. Second, think about what your experience might be, whether it's off or on campus, if you're currently working in a work study position or involved in something off campus, or you're looking for something to do, please visit our office. We always want people to come and help us, and we're always able to kind of guide you in the process of how to get involved. And finally, this is our website. So if you want information on our workshops, on our speaker events and events happening on campus, you can find it on not only on the intranet, but also on the leadership development website, utsc-leadership.ca, or email us at leadership@utsc.utoronto.ca.